They say you don't truly know someone until you've seen what they do behind your back. Trust, it's the foundation of any relationship. But what happens when that foundation crumbles? This is my story, the story of how I lost everything because of her affair. At first, trust came easily. It was the silent agreement we built our relationship on, the unspoken promise that bound us together. I never questioned it because, in my mind, trust was absolute. But life has a way of testing even the strongest bonds. I never imagined that the person I gave my heart to could be the one to break it. Trust isn't just about honesty, it's about vulnerability. It's about opening up and allowing someone else to see the parts of you that no one else can. When that trust is broken, it's not just the relationship that suffers, it's your sense of self. And so when I discovered the truth, it wasn't just betrayal, it was the loss of something far deeper, the loss of who I thought we were, and the loss of who I thought I was. Betrayal isn't a clean wound. It's jagged and deep, leaving scars that never fade. It teaches you lessons you never wanted to learn, lessons about boundaries, self-worth, and resilience. Looking back, I see that this story, painful as it is, became part of who I am today. It shaped me in ways I never imagined, pushing me to confront emotions I didn't even know I had. At first, it felt like a bad dream, a nightmare I hoped I would wake up from. But reality has a way of being far crueler than dreams. There's a surreal quality to betrayal. You go through the motions of everyday life, but it all feels off, like walking through a world that no longer makes sense. Every smile, every memory, every word exchange suddenly feels like a lie. I wanted to deny it. I wanted to convince myself that it wasn't real, that somehow I had misunderstood. But deep down, I knew the truth. The gut feeling I had tried so hard to ignore was now staring me in the face. Reality isn't like the movies. There's no dramatic confrontation, no tidy resolution. It's messy, painful, and leaves you questioning everything you thought you knew. In those moments, you find yourself grasping for clarity, for something solid to hold on to, but everything slips away. You begin to question your judgment. Did you miss the signs? Could you have done something differently? These questions don't have easy answers, and often they only serve to deepen the pain. It all started like most love stories do, full of hope, trust, and dreams of a future together. We built a life. We shared everything, or so I thought. In the beginning, everything was perfect. We were two people in love, building a future brick by brick. Each shared laugh, each intimate moment, felt like another layer of our unbreakable bond. I trusted her completely, never imagining a day when that trust would be broken. Looking back now, I see the little moments I overlooked, the times she seemed distracted, the phone calls she took in private, the excuses about working late. At the time, they seemed like nothing. After all, every relationship has its ups and downs. But hindsight has a way of revealing the cracks you didn't want to see. Those cracks were there all along, growing wider with each passing day. It's hard to accept that someone you love could lead a double life. That realization hits like a wave, drowning out everything else. You want to find a reason, an explanation, something that will make sense of the chaos, but often there isn't one. I found out by accident. A message meant for someone else showed up on her phone. That one message shattered everything? It wasn't a long message, just a few words, but it was enough to change everything. In that moment, the world I had built came crashing down around me. I remember staring at the screen, unable to breathe, unable to think. I confronted her. At first, she denied it. She looked me in the eyes and lied. But the evidence was right there, undeniable and damning. Eventually, she admitted it. She had been seeing someone else. It's strange how a few words can carry so much weight. They can end a relationship, break a heart, and change the course of a life. That message was the beginning of the end. Discovering the truth was like stepping into a storm, cold, harsh, and unrelenting. You replay every moment, every interaction, searching for clues you missed. But the past can't be rewritten, and all that's left is to face what lies ahead. What came next was a blur. We tried to make it work, but trust, once it's broken, it's almost impossible to rebuild. We went through the motions of repair, counseling sessions, long talks, promises to change, but none of it mattered. Trust once shattered leaves behind a scar that never truly heals. Every argument, every doubt became a reminder of what had happened. I wanted to forgive her. I really did. But forgiveness isn't enough when trust is gone. It's like trying to build a house on a cracked foundation. It doesn't matter how many bricks you add, it will always be unstable. Eventually, we had to face the truth. We couldn't go back to what we once were. The damage was done, and there was no undoing it. Walking away wasn't easy. It felt like giving up on a dream we had once shared. But staying would have meant living in the shadow of what had happened. Sometimes letting go is the only path to healing. It wasn't easy, but I learned that sometimes losing everything is what sets you free. It gave me the chance to start over, to find out who I really am. Starting over felt impossible at first. I was lost, broken, and unsure of who I was without her. But slowly I began to rebuild. Piece by piece, I found myself again. It wasn't about forgetting, it was about healing, about accepting the pain and using it to grow. I found strength I didn't know I had, and I learned that I didn't need anyone else to define my worth. In losing her, I found myself, and that, in the end, was the greatest gift I could have ever received. Life after betrayal is different. It's quieter, more introspective, but it's also a chance to rediscover your passions, your dreams, and your sense of self. You learn to stand on your own, and in doing so, you find a resilience you didn't know existed. Thank you for listening. If you found this story helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. You never know who might need to hear it. We all have stories to tell, stories that can help others feel less alone. This is mine, and if it resonated with you, I hope you'll share yours too. Together, we can create a space where it's okay to be vulnerable, where it's okay to hurt, and where it's okay to heal. Because at the end of the day, we're all just trying to find our way through this messy, beautiful thing called life. So if you've ever felt broken, if you've ever felt lost, know this: you're not alone, and you are stronger than you think. Remember, sharing our stories is how we heal, and healing is a journey, not a destination. Let's walk this path together.